So um, before we start, can we have a quick, introduction, like what's your experience and what kind of things you are looking for? I mean, I just wanted to know the crowd here, like, who has what experience. So according to that, we can design our program and then, go ahead. So I see there are a few members. So if we can start from Amjad, if you can talk about yourself, a few, like what's your experience and what are you looking for?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Amzad. I'm working in company ATSG as a service desk team lead. So I heard about this Harsha Trainings, a very longer period of time. So one of my friends has been also joined the course and succeeded the careers from your organization. And I came
Okay,
to know about this Appian course. I'm very new for this course, so I would like to,
okay,
build the career in this Appian technology.
okay, great, thank you. Sneha, what about you? What's your experience? Are you fresher or you're already working with some technology?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I don't have any experience in this. I would like
Okay,
to start career in this. So
okay,
my brother also joined this course, so that's why.
all right. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Rajesh?
thank you.
Hi, sir. I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Currently, I'm working in LTM entry as an Appian developer since 1.5 year. Like I joined in 2021 actually. Current experience is 2.5 years. Yeah, I'm looking for like some advanced level in Appian like plugins and
Okay, so
interfaces with Airflow.
you already know about Appian? Are you doing the Appian development?
Yeah. I'm in the Appian project only.
Okay, great, thank you. How about you,
Yeah.
Sumant? Maybe we'll come back to him. Anil, hi, good morning.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hey, I have no experience with Appian. I am more, I'm working as an security engineer for an,
Okay.
yeah. So I
All
just
right.
wanted to change. I
Mm-hmm.
felt Appian was ideal because I don't do much coding, so low code is what I was looking for.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anil.
Hmm.
Hi, Methi. How about you?
Hi. So yeah, even I don't have any experience in Appian, so I'm working in
Mhm.
different rule engine kind of projects. So I just wanted to learn Appian. Yeah.
All right, great. All right. Yeah. Thank you, guys, for your information because it's really helped me to design a program that how should we go proceed and for the open training. We have a combination of people where someone is having some experience in technology, some is going to start his career. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for that. Hi, Nagendra. Welcome. We were just talking about the audience, like what's your experience. So how about you? Are you from the IT background or you are going to start a career with it? All right, guys. All right. So there are certain people who know about the Appian, certain who going to start their career in Appian development and all right. So in someone is going to start in IT career. So we'll start with a very basic question. What is an Appian is? Anyone what an Appian is? How when you have heard this terminology somewhere, right? So any thoughts what Appian is apart from I think Rajesh is already working, right? So anyone else what Appian is?
Low code tool.
It's a low code tool. Yes, it's a low code tool. Correct. What else? Go ahead, guys. Speak up. I mean, that's fine. It's totally. It's not a quiz or something, right? Any competition. It's just open yourself. What do you know? And that will really help you to understand the things. Okay, Appian is basically a BPM tool. So what's a BPM?
Business process management.
Business process management. All right. In business process management, what do you understand by with the business?
The business flow, process flow.
Business flow. All right, and process flow. You're saying. All right. Anything else? See, in business process management, what business refers is basically, in local. I mean, in generally you talk about what's your business. What's your business? What do you do? So, if I talk about like someone is giving you some requirement, like their customers are saying that okay, I need certain interface which needs to be developed. So that's a kind of their requirement. So their business. So if someone is giving you any requirement to perform a task, that is a business. If you talk about in real time example, if I ask you, can you please make me a tea? So the business is here is that making the tea is a requirement, right? So that's a business. If someone is giving a requirement, that's a business. Okay. Now what is the process in here?
How do you make the TA?
Exactly. So how you make a tree? That's your process. How you going to design your interface? How you going to process your data from one place to other place? Like if you are going to gather information, they ask you to create a input interface where you can capture the information from our business our customers, right? Let's say if I'm going to design a customer onboarding form, then we must have to capture the information from the business from the users and then put that information to the database. So there will be some workflow defined. So in general language you can say how you make a team. So you can say steps to perform the task. An example you will say how we make a team. Okay, that's correct. And then it's a management. So what's a management?
How do you automate or how do you manage that going forward, maybe?
Yeah. So management is basically how do you manage your data? How do you manage your data? So for example, if I say the example that we're talking about the tea, sugar maybe put it in some other box, the tea maybe some in another box. You take the tea, you take the sugar, and then you put it back the same place, right? So how you manage with the data in terms of if you talk about the data, like from where we need to gather the information, which table we need to write the information, all those things we comes under the management. Okay, is that clear now? What's the business process management? Yeah, all right. Now, if you talk about low code, someone has mentioned that it's a low code tool. So what's a low code tool? And in market right now, there are also available as we call as a no code tool. So what's a low code tool and what's a no code tool? Anyone? Any idea?
So low code means we don't need to write.
Sorry. Yeah.
So low code means like we don't need to write much code, like
Yeah,
only
as the name
partial
suggests,
code will be
yeah,
needed.
on that is correct. You have to write on the partial codes. And what is a no code tool?
No code means is completely no code, so only drag and drop kind of development kind of.
That is correct. So the low code that gives you you have to write certain codes, the very basic codes or the functions, the rules given by your Appian. So Appian is a low code tool. So Appian has certain all its functions, like if you talk about the function index function, for each function. So it has defined its own functions just like the Java. Why saying that just like the Java? Because Appian itself has been built in the Java. Appian is built on the Java. So if you talk about the Appian, how Appian has been designed, it's basically built on the Java. Okay, so most of the things you will see here, the coding standards, the functions, it will be very much be liking with the Java. Okay, and as we're talking about the low code tool, so Appian is a low code tool, so you do not have to write many other things. Like if you talk about, like, if you want to write the data to the database, you do not have to do all those connection strings and then JDBC connections. We don't have to worry about it. Appian is given you the smart services, the smart services functions, which will allow you to write the data to the database. What we need to do is the configuration. When we say the configuration, it means that uh, which table we have to write, this information we need to provide them, what data we need to provide. This only configuration we have to do, and then the data will be get written to the database. We don't have to worry about the much things what's going on in the backend. Whereas in a no code tool, it's completely no code. We do not have to write a single line of code. But the problem is that, let's say, it has all its defined interfaces, defined functions. If we just want certain change in the process, you can't do that. Okay, so it's not I say flexible, that you can change the things, change the requirement. It's not possible. Whatever it's defined, it's defined. You cannot change the things, you cannot change the requirement. So what will happen if 5 companies are trying to do the same thing? The all UIs, everything, only the logo will be different, but the UIs, patterns, process, everything will be same. We are just using their tool, right? So that's the no code tool. Why people are liking the low code tool is that because it's give them the flexibility. They can change the requirement based on their needs. They can, uh, if they want to change the UI a little bit, they can do that. If they want to have certain drop downs or picker fields or the radio buttons, if they want to change out, they can do that. They can define the workflows according to their requirements. So that's why the low code tool is very much likely by the business instead of no code tool. No code tool is also being used in the market. So, but low code tool is, the advantage is that it gives the flexibility of changing the code. Okay, all right. Now, if you talk about the Appian example, Appian code, code example. So how the code will look like? As I said, right, it's very much like to be just like the Java. So if you talk about the if condition, so it will be like if, and then here we can put some condition. How do we define the if condition? It's a condition, and then the true part, and then the false part. Okay. So this is how the Appian code also works. If let's say if you want to say if certain variable, let's say variable x is equal to 5, then say red else blue. Okay, so this is one of the example of the Appian code. The same way Java works is here also, it works the same way. It has, if you want to check the condition, then what's the true part, what the false part. Appian also has its own inbuilt functions where they can, perform a certain task. Let's say if you want to, change a character which is written in the small, and if you want to convert to the upper, so simply we have a function called upper function, which, let's say if I type like this upper, and then I'll say Ram, so output would be Ram. So very simple functions are there, and even if you don't, if there are certain functions you don't know about it, we just have to click inside the function parenthesis, and in the below window you will be able to see the description what this function do, or what are the input parameters it will require. So very nicely way Appian has given all this description and then understanding of the function how it works. All right. Now, if you talk about the Appian applications, what kind of applications we build in Appian? Anyone? Any idea what kind of Appian applications we build? Hmm? And who is the users? Any guesses? Okay. Can we build an IRCTC project in Appian?
No.
Why?
So IRCTC is used by many end users like customers, right? So I think
Hmm,
Appian is not suitable for customers. Is
exactly.
it correct?
So, so IRCTC is not a um, suitable project for Appian, right? So,
I
what kind
think,
of
I
project?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
moreover it is a middleware, right?
it's a middleware. That's a nice word, middleware project. So, what is the example of middleware projects?
So, for example, if we want to connect to different systems like Java and SAP, so
Okay,
something
that's
directly we
mhm.
cannot connect to, something middleware is required.
Okay. All right. So that's basically for the connection. If you talk about the Tableau, if you talk about the SharePoints, those can be the middlewares where we can, take some integration or API calls to connect to different systems. Now, if you're talking about this Appian applications, what kind of applications we can build? Let's say we are talking about customer onboarding. So customer onboarding system or application, right? Let's say a bank, whenever you visit a bank, right, you need to open an account for yourself, right? So if you want to open an account, you must have to be first onboarded to the bank. You have to provide your details, name, email, gender, location, nationality, whatever, right? And then you also have to provide some documentation. So there's a process called customer onboarding process or customer onboarding system, whatever you name it. So if this is an application that we can create in Appian, so you tell me who will be the end users for this. If this kind of applications we are going to create in Appian, so who is
Bank
going to be the
bank employees. So
bank employees? That's called in-house employees, right? So in-house employees or users. So the bank, if you talk about a bank here, right? So whoever is the working in that bank, that those users are the end users for this Appian applications. We cannot create an Appian applications for the uh, customers, right? It's not possible because Appian license is restricted. It's very costly as well. So you cannot have credentials for everyone. So Appian charges based on the number of users created, you know, and then also whatever n number of users you will create, n number of credentials you have to create in there so that everyone can log in and log out. So that's not a possible. So Appian applications are suitable for the in-house employees. If you work for the bank or if you work for any medical institutions, so the employees who is working for institutions are the end users for this application. Got it? And we can create applications like customer onboarding systems. We can create applications like lead management systems. If we can create projects like you know some if you want to some approval process. Let's say if you want to raise any request in your company that I need certain amount of notepads or pens because there are 5 people have onboarded. We need you know laptops for them. So this kind of regulatory process you can also create in Appian, which and what Appian does is basically it's a workflow. As I said, it's a workflow, right? So where you have the approval process. Let's say I want to apply a leave to the system, right? So I applied the leave. That leave request will go to the manager. Manager can approve or reject it. So based on this workflow, we can define what decision needs to be taken. So these kind of applications we can create in Appian. Okay, I hope that's clear now. What Appian is and how what kind of project we can build on Appian, right? And why it's a low code. Any questions here, guys? Any question you want to know? Uh, any confusion? Whatever we have discussed here.
yeah, so we have some different BPM tool also in the market, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
so why we are going with Appian? So what is the main advantage of using Appian here than other tools?
Okay. See, the reason behind this, Appian is leading the market right now is that, in every year, Appian is releasing four releases. Every quarter it will have one release, and Appian is enhancing its interface experience very nicely to the end users. And Appian comes, not, I mean, many other tools that are into the market, low-code tool, the BPM tool. For example, if you talk about the Pega, right? You have to take a different licensing for Pega. For designer, you have a different license. For database, you have to take a different license, and then for plugins also you have a different license. But in Appian, is basically everything is comes with a package, and Appian is also enhanced in a such a way that it's also now available for the RPA, intelligent document processing, IDP, AIs, robotics process, everything you can now create within the Appian. So you do not have to buy different tools for, let's say, an automation anywhere or Blue Prism tools. You don't have to buy a separate tools for AI or RPA things. Everything in Appian itself now. As I said initially, that Appian is also enhancing its experience very richly in interface designing. It's now allowing a very nice UI features and all. So this is very demandable with the business. Also, Appian comes with the quick app where you can quickly create an app like in 10 to 15 minutes, and the business can also do it by themselves. So that's the reason Appian is very much likely by the customers, and it's highly rated tool in the market now. And Appian is now, I think it's 15 years almost that Appian has come to the business, so it has well-defined customers and experience as well.
It's not an open source, right?
No, it's not. You have to buy a license, but Appian gives you a demo, a demo site to practice. Uh, right now, there's a lot of request was made, so they have stopped giving the demo sites to the personal email addresses. If you are going to log in with your company's email address, then you will get a free site for practice.
Okay. So how is the market of APM?
Market, market. I talk about the market. It's very, right now the IT jobs are very less. As I said, not less job. The candidates are high in numbers, but still there are openings with the Appian. There's many companies because many giants are now, working with the Appian. If you talk about the companies like Barclays, HSBC, Johnson and Johnson, um, any pharmaceutical company, Pfizer and all, right? So everyone is now working with the Appian, and they are the big giant customers. So if you talk about the service provider companies like TCS, CTS, uh, Capgemini, Emphasis, they all are now working with these clients, and then they have requirement for this Appian. So yeah, there are openings for the Appian in the market right now as well. Basically, Appian is leading the market right now in BPM tool. Yeah, go ahead. Nice question. If no questions, we can start with the demo. Let me quickly share my screen. I'll just show you that what the things happen. We talk about
Question here.
verbally, but yeah.
So, what is the major competitor for Appian in the market at this point of time?
We have Pega, but we can say that Appian is a competitor with Pega because companies are now switching their application from Pega to Appian. So yeah, so that's one of the competitor. And then right now they are also using Camunda. Camunda is getting popular nowadays, but still Appian is leading the market from last 4 years in BPM.
I have another question.
Yeah.
In our training session, will we be getting, like you said, for the community edition, Appian has stopped giving the instances, and it's hard to get community edition. So, do we have any training lab session in our training institute? And
Yes, we do provide. Last time we also provided. Last three sessions we because I think Appian has stopped giving from last 5 to 6 months. So what we did, we shared our own credentials with them so that they can practice. But now we can see that Appian has started giving the credentials community editions if you log in with your company email address.
Actually, I tried that as well, and from past 2 weeks, like I'm getting the mail that due to high demand, we are still work
Hmm.
in progress, and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But it's more than even 2 weeks, so yeah,
Have you used your company's
with
email address
companies,
or
it's
your personal?
companies email address.
Okay, so in that case, your company is not partner of Appian. I mean, are you in your company? Do you have any Appian projects?
Yeah, so I have used the community edition previously, and
Oh,
you might
okay.
know that
Hmm.
if you don't use it for 4 or 5 days, they stop it,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Correct.
I
Yeah.
had used it. I have completed that basic learning builder course, but
Hmm.
once I stopped it, and now I'm trying to get it again, and I'm not. I have tried it multiple times, and each
Yeah.
time I'm not. From past 1 or 2 months, they are not giving it as such. Not sure why.
No worries. We will be sharing our own credentials with you guys so that you can at least practice. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there any limit
So
for
we
that
we have.
resource that you're sharing with us?
Sorry.
Is there any time frame of the resource that you're providing to us? So if there is any threshold time,
Um,
this period of time
no,
we
no,
can
no. I
use.
mean, you guys can use it any point of time. That's not an issue. Uh, Appian does not rest like suppose if I give you same credentials, you can still go and work in your applications at the same time. It just you guys need to work on the separate applications. Don't I mean if you try to open same rule, then it will be causing an issue. But if you don't, if you create two different applications and work, it will allow you to do that. So that's not an issue. It will be 24/7 for you guys.
The sessions will be for individual for each and every person who is joining this course, or it's just a shared resource for everyone,
I'll
only
no,
one
I'll be
link.
sharing with everyone. So same credentials with everyone, and everyone can use at the same time also. That's not an issue. It's just don't disturb others' application. That's what I mean. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So we talk about the workflows, right? The business process model, and we say that what kind of workflow we have. For example, we talk about the leave management system where you go and apply the leaves, and then it will go for a manager approval, and then manager will approve or reject. According to that, we can find. So what's the workflow? How it will be being designed? You see this the diagram. Um, the diagram the same way the process model that service that we have in Appian. So we define this Appian process models to define the workflow where a customer can make some offer request, they can accept it or decline it. If they accept the offer, they need to make a payment. Once the company receive the payment, they can send an invoice, you know so they can also dispatch the goods after that. So this is a flow that we design in Appian. This is called a BPN and business process model and notations diagram, where you can see there are certain decision box. If you talk about this gateways, these gateways are the XOR gateway, where we can take a decision which path the process has to take. These are these this could be the script task for smart services where we can do certain tasks if you want to query any data, or if you want to write some data to the database. So all those things we can perform here. So every process will have a one start event, and then every process will have we can have more than one end events. So that is how process model designing can happen in Appian. So we talk about the Appian, what Appian is, and what kind of projects we have. Appian is why it's in demand, because as we talk about, like it has RPA inbuilt, RPA, IDP, uh, you know, and it's it's very take low time to design an application. Okay, so these are some examples of Appian UI. You do not have to do much coding to adjust the screens as well. If you design a code, it will be auto. Most of the things are auto adjustable in your UIs. Either you are going to look into the laptop or tab or mobile devices. Most of the places it's having its auto adjustable, but you can see the how rich they have created these UI features now. That gives you a lot of good experience while creating the reports, where you can represent the data into the graphical, and you can see the UIs and tabs. And Appian also gives you the look and feel wise that you are working on a site. When you create a site, it won't give you feel that you are working on a tool. So that's also a beauty of the Appian, that UI is very rich. Yeah. So you can see that there are certain companies which given their feedback. Equivia has been sent that there were 12 months of clinical trial initially they were taking, which has been reduced to 1.5 months, which is a very much faster as compared to the previous application whatever they were using. So that's how the Appian code is being designed, and easy your task to perform. Beer, another company, we has said that they were used to create a report which is taking 3 hours. Now it's like in minutes they can create the reportings. So these are the some companies feedback that Appian how they are working on. When you say that triple crown leader is that process management, automations, low code, and case management. So you can combine all these three and you can create your still own application, and that's only possible in Appian. This report is older, but still, according to the new report, again, Appian is getting the market, and it has lots of job openings, and then the current with the business, Appian developers are in demand, and the tools are also in demand with the business. Where Appian fits? Just 1 second. Sorry. So where Appian fits basically? It's not like that you can only create Appian code and you cannot connect with some other applications. In Appian design, in your application, you can also include some other applications UIs. If you want to call certain APIs, you can create an API. If you want to do integration, that is also possible. So integration and API, these were initially very tough in Appian. I'm talking about 2014, maybe, yeah, 2014. So we had to create a lot of connector systems, CDTs to enable the query to be made to the third party and bring the data. But now Appian has come up with this integration object where you just have to provide the base URL and the connection string. It means that your username and password, whatever the third party you are going to hit, and then you will have the data uh, in your Appian quickly. It's like 5 minutes of configuration and you'll get it. Initially, it was taking a lot of time, but now Appian has come up with these 3 objects: integration, connected system, and API, which really helps to build the application very fast when you need to connect with the third party. So Appian also fits there. I mean, if you are using a Java application and if you want to use Appian services, you can do that. So in Appian, we can create an APIs which will provide a URL to the third party. So API can be connected to the third party, and then you can still trigger an Appian process in the backend. You can query the data from the Appian, and you can also download a data file from the Appian to your third party application. You can combine all these three, and then you can also still build an Appian application. So that's what the Appian comes with, very much flexibility. Yeah, as I said, right, you have artificial intelligence, digital workforce, RPA, process automation, unified data, and everything is processed. Appian has its one feature that's called record. Record is basically very powerful tool in Appian. Now record is moving in such a way that it's going to remove many other things like using a CDT and all, because the record is being so powerful, it can connect with the multiple systems, and you can uh, have a display, a view of your data. So you can take an action on your data, you can update your record, you can delete a record, you can create a new record. So from the record itself, you can do all those things. You do not even have to have a CDTs and all, right? But still, many companies are using the CDTs, so we that's being used. So we will learn about that. But I'm saying that how Appian is going to be. Just a second. Okay. This is one of the UI experience. You see that one of the example of the UI where we have graphs, user icons, name, milestones, the header tool, and all, right. So we can display, we can create such a rich UI. Even now, it's being more enthusiastic where you can create such a good UIs for the business, and that is one of the more important feature, because nowadays we are seeing that business are demanding, can we have some beautiful UIs as well? Because initially the Appian UIs were very straightforward, no images, no colors and all, right. But now it's everything possible by using the rich text. So Appian is having this rich text items tools where we can have data to be displayed in colorful, and then some images can be also be designed. So these are the example of the sites where we can have graphs. You can see the how nicely we can display the data in the graphical representations. As I said, you can create an process model process or in Appian, which is combination of all the three. You can have a people in participating, even the bots and the AI. You can see this image here. This is an example of the process model. That's how the process model looks like, where we can display multiple services. We can have connection with the third party. We can bring the information. We can write back to the information to the third party. So everything is possible in this process model designing as well. One of the client Forrester mentioned that the Appian codes is 20 times faster than any other custom codes. Yeah, so we have certain objects in Appian like interface, constant, process models, expression rules. All those things are reusable. If we can design a rule which query the data from the database, we can we reuse that code multiple places as per the requirement if we have it. Now, if you talk about the sale, many one ask that what's the language we used in Appian. So language that we are using in Appian is called SAIL, SAIL, self-assembled interface language. It's pretty much similar to the Java. We'll see the example of how it looks like and how it works. Okay. These are the companies, as I said, which is using Appian, and it's very few numbers here, but there are many more who is now started working on the Appian. Right. We'll go with the product demo. I'll open an Appian environment and I'll share with you guys how it looks like. But do you guys have any questions before we proceed there?
Harsha, one question. As you said, like this Appian will upgrade their platform every quarterly. So suppose I have built an app and I have deployed in the production, and in the next quarter application got upgraded. So will that impact my application which I deployed in the production?
Yeah, why not? Sure. See, Appian upgrade itself, but it doesn't say that I am stopping providing services to the older versions. So every upgraded version will support the older versions as well. Now, where the problem comes, now let's say if you have designed your code, um, in, let's say, 20.4 version, okay, and then you are trying to deploy that code to your 20.2 version. In that case, there can be some issues, because in 20.4 you might have used certain functions which is not available in 20.2, right? So you have to be sure about it, that you can go from low to higher, but in higher to lower it's not a good practice. So before
Okay.
deploying, you have to be sure that you are upgraded the higher environment.
Suppose I have upgraded into the higher version, and
in next quarter, next 2 quarter, I got some enhancement request to update some fields in that older application. So in that way, in that case, I need to use the older version which I used to develop that app, or I need to again migrated that
No, no,
entire
no.
application.
So your lower version will always be, available to your higher.
Okay.
Yeah?
So initially I need to set the lower version, update the code and deploy, right? That is the step.
See, as I said, right, let's say in the production you have 20.4, okay, and then you have designed the code in 20.2, which is fine because you are going from lower to higher, right? Now, let's
Okay.
say in your development you have 20.4, but in production you have 20.2. In that case, there will be an issue because you cannot go from higher to lower. Why? Because
Okay.
in higher, if you have designed certain functions, you have used certain functions in higher environment, which is not available in the lower, then it will be issue, right? The function will say that it's not available. So before making a deployment, you have to make sure that your environment, your target environment, wherever you are going to deploy, is at least similar or higher.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So one other question. So is this again Appian as a product, right? Is it like a
Mhm.
SaaS based or is it like an on-prem deployment? How does this work?
So deployment Appian gives you the manual deployment and also the compare and deploy, the where you can download the package and upload the package to the environment, and then you
No,
can
no.
do
Where
that.
is where again? My question is very specific to how do I access Appian? Is it like an on-prem deployment as a Appian product itself?
Oh, okay. No, Appian product is it's two kind. It's on premise and then on cloud,
You
right?
have a cloud
If you
version as
have,
well.
yeah, if you have on premise, then you have to install the Appian to your system, to your local server, and from the local server you can access it. Now, if you are using on cloud, so you can use it from anywhere.
Okay. And
So
go ahead.
yeah, the example you are seeing here, right? This is on cloud, and most of the
Okay.
companies are using the on cloud versions.
On cloud. Okay.
Yeah, the reason behind it that if not, like say, as I said, that every quarter Appian releases its new version. So on cloud it gets, they will schedule a time, and then it will get automatically upgraded in that particular defined time. They will ask you, do you need any downtime or not? If downtime is required, then they will ask you, yeah, a couple of hours is required, so you can put a downtime and it will get upgraded. If you are using on-premise, in that case, you have to install the upgrades by your own. Your system administrator will do that, and everything you have to configure by yourself. Appian support will not help you in there. Appian support will work for your Appian clouds.
Okay.
Hi,
Yeah,
my name is Shiva. Sorry,
yes,
I
sure.
joined in late. Okay. Is this a course development oriented or admin oriented?
Development. It's
Ah,
purely development oriented. Yeah.
okay. Means configurations. Do you explain how we will early in my earlier project? I worked as a admin. Okay.
Okay.
I have seen Zoo Cooper and
Hmm.
JBoss and some other technologies it was integrated, and also we performed Appian deployments.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about the version, but we used to deploy applications by using Appian console.
Yeah.
A deployment and weekly maintenance, like a weekly restart, is was in our
Okay.
scope.
Hmm.
We have done that one. So it comes under my job is comes under admin, right?
Yes, that's
Weekly
admin.
restart and Appian deployment. Okay.
Correct. So you
Uh,
are working as an Appian admin administrators, where you have was handling the environment and you are taking care of the deployment services and the connections of the database and the other environments, right?
correct. Yeah, there were 15 engines in
Correct. Yeah.
sequence. We need to stop and start.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you cover that topic?
No, we here it's a purely development oriented, so we will be covering like what kind of code you need to
Mhm.
write, how do you write a code, to create an application.
Mm-hmm.
All the things is required for application development.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any class like a course for Appian administrator?
As of now, no. But we are looking for a person who can take it up. So I think we will be in future. So
Uh-huh.
but I
Okay.
think as of now we couldn't find. But we can connect again with the the point of contact with these training services. They will let you know.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is a SIL, right? You told that is the language we use for Appian
Sale,
development.
sale. Yeah.
Means
Self-assembled
any
interface language.
prerequisite? Yeah. We don't have any
No.
coding knowledge.
Yeah, I
Is it
understand. So
possible?
no prerequisites. I mean, basically, whatever if you have learned in the college, that is also fine. If you didn't even learn the in the college, that is totally fine because the languages are very simple. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Everything is mentioned in the description window. You do not have to go and search in the Google and everywhere. All the functions, their descriptions, what it does are available within the code itself. So you don't have to look
Mm-hmm.
out somewhere for this definition. No, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. All right. So let me quickly route to you the app and interfaces, how it looks like. So this is the first shoot. Appian has a basically suits. If you talk about the URL here, you see the other suits, and then after the suits we have all different suits. So here we have suits called Tempo. Tempo is basically it's a older interface suite that it has now. I would say 95% companies are using sites. They are not using Tempo, but still, this is the basic first page for the Appian basic users. If you are not a system admin or system app developer, you will be able to access this page as a basic user, where you can see any newses, if any published news are there, the task that has been assigned to you, then a number of records are available in the system. If you have created any reports, and also if you need to trigger any action, you can take it from actions here. Okay, so all those things you can perform from this shoots. It has 5 tabs: news, task, record, reports, and actions. If you want to trigger any actions, you can take it from here and then perform the task is assigned. Second suite, as I said, this is design, which is used for the developers, where user can go and develop the things. You can see these are the applications that has been created, so you can also create your own applications and then perform certain tasks on it. So how you create an application is a new application. If you want, just click on the new application and then put the name, so application will get created. It has multiple sub tabs. There you have objects. If you want to find any objects, you can just simply go here and then type the name of the object and filter the type wise. You can be able to see the objects. This is the deployment tab, where you can deploy the object from one place to other place. Then we can deploy it. The monitor tab is basically for if you want to monitor the instances, so where it has been run, what's the process is, if it has broken somewhere, we can do. And then we have the user tabs too. If you want to create any users and handle any users, you can do that from there. So basically, for us, the designer tab is the important. Here, this is the place where we do the development and all. Okay. The third tab is the called cloud database. So as yes, I forgot to mention that Appian has its own cloud database. You do not have to, if you are not having any database, you can make use of this cloud database, which comes with the in-house you, and it's very faster. But if you are using some existing database like SQL Server, MariaDB, Oracle, you can still connect with that. You do not have to worry about that. We need to migrate the data from that to here. It's not required. You can still be using your third-party database with Appian. It's very easy to do. So you can create tables, views, procedures, functions, everything you can perform it here. The other tab that we have is called admin console. Admin console is not visible here because this user is not a system administrator. System admin user will only be able to access the admin console. This is and in admin consoles, basically you can configure your site branding, uh, what other file you wanted to upload. You allow user to upload to the system. If you want to configure any users, you can create there. If you want to configure any database connection strings, you can do it there, right? So those kind of things you can perform, as someone has mentioned right now that they were using as a Appian admin side. So that's for the Appian admin users. For development, this is the main suite that we need to use. We have system logs. System logs are basically for the, if you want to see any errors has occurred in your process or something, what issues having. So in error log, it will define the details about it, and it also have select. If you are going to delete any object, then the deletion log will give you the list of the objects that has been deleted by a particular user. All those things you can perform. So these are the suites of Appian. If you let me show you some example of a site. Let's say order fulfillment site. Let's see if it has anything. Nope. Maybe you don't have access. No. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you see this one, right? It doesn't give you the tempo feel. You cannot. You will feel like you are using a web application. Still, you are in the tool, but you feel like you are using a web application. So that's how the um, Appian sites will look like. There you go. If you want to have anything to create it, search and all, you can perform it here. All the operations that you can do from the Appian Tempo, you can perform from site as well. In Tempo, you will be having, if you are a part of 5 or 6 applications, all the applications will be, visible here, which is a kind of confusing. So that's Appian comes with the, the feature of site, where each site will be for one application. So you can work there. Any question, guys?
Is it will be support multi languages like right now you're showing only English, right? Maybe my application is required to develop in other languages, either Arabic or any other Telugu, Hindi.
So not that language, but Appian provides the feature of language Spanish, French, German. But for that, you have to do the configuration of internationalization, where you can configure your code in those languages. Not the code, but the UI feature and all will be displayed in that language. So that's a separate course area where we see we have to configure the internationalizations things, which we can do that. But it doesn't support Telugu or Tamil language.
Okay, Arabic, what about Arabic? Only
Sorry?
two languages supporting, right? English and some Spanish. You were saying only
Not
couple
the
of
two
languages.
languages, yeah, but German, Spanish, French, English, yeah, those are languages are there.
Okay, Arabic it will support Arabic language.
Support
Arabic language.
Arabic, yeah, I think Arabic is also there. I believe so. Let
Okay.
me check quickly. I can see that it's not.
Okay. Here I have seen that SAP connectors. One more question. SAP connectors again. They need purchase any license or it is a part of Appian suite. It is a SAP connectors, I guess.
No, it's a part of it. If you want to create any connectors, you can do that. Let's see, connected
Okay.
system. If
Yeah.
you want to create any connected system, you see these are the connected systems are available here to be connected. SAP, it's not there, but we can install that. Salesforce is there.
Okay. Because I heard sometimes they need one license whenever connecting SAP. Maybe they need a connector license. They need so then only it will support. Some tools are automatic. They are supporting automatically without any license by using connectors, default connectors. I don't know how it will be again.
Yeah, connectors. I haven't SAP connectors. I haven't used Salesforce, and the other I've used that. Yeah.
Okay.
So the language that it supports are, let me see the process model. So we have Spanish, French, English, Chinese, Dutch, Arabic is there, Greek, Korean, Italian, Japanese, Polish are there.
Okay, very good. It is additional little efforts, right? Or maybe some common people.
No, these are the languages that's defaulted given.
Okay, automatically. Okay, fine. Got it.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Want to know about the course content, what kind of things? If not, then let me tell you something. So we will be covering the basic development which is required for an Appian application development. What we are not going to cover is called RPA. That's a separate AI. These are the separate courses which takes around a month for itself. So AIs, RPA, bots, we will not be covering that. Our training session will go 40 to 45 trainings. Each will be hour, 1 hour training per day. Will go Monday to Friday, and sometimes if we're not possible to have some issues, then we will try to catch up in weekends if everybody is ready. Anything else you wanted to know?
During the course, how many projects end-to-end sites we can say are we going to develop?
So we will be creating one end-to-end, during the training. We'll take any use case, maybe example of a lead management system or some approvals process, anything that we can decide. So we will be covering that. I always mention that, if you guys try to create similar application by your own, which will really help you to grow. Because if you go with the application that we are building during the training, you will be end up the copy pasting the code, right? So better go with some other use case. Uh, Whatever we are learning here, try to implement in some other, so that will also help you to open your mind, think process to how you build the Appian. And so you can also have two end-to-end process, applications at the end. If you just use whatever we are discussing, then you will end up copy pasting the code. That happens usually. So that's my suggestions. Whatever we are learning here, just try to go with some other applications with your. So yeah.
What are the syllabus do we need to cover in this course?
So we'll share the course content. As I said, we will be having everything. Let me share. I think I have that one with me. Quickly check.
Is that RPA is the advanced or the basic level?
The basic level, which is required. Advanced, it comes like RPA and process automations and all, right? So which we don't cover here, but yeah, uh, most of the things which is required for a basic Appian development will be get covered here.
We are
Will
going to
you
cover the process model, right? Like how connecting the process and integration that we are going to cover.
Yeah, integration, connected system, APIs, we will be covering that. That's not an issue.
Mhm.
It's just the, I'm
Mhm.
saying, RPA,
Yeah,
AI will not be get covered here.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so these are the course content. We have so Appian, as this introduction we already did. So creating applications, application life cycles, define the applications, designing objects that we have. These are that we need to create for. So we will be covering all those objects apart from the bots, and we'll have Appian sale interface designing, CDPs, and then data stores. Most of the things that is required for a basic application where we don't need any bots and all, right? We can do that. We'll do it. So sale components, layouts, links, process models, events, gateways. These are part of these training APIs. So we cover that. Okay. We'll
do
share
we
this course
get
content.
any support for for certification assistance?
I will try to help you, with some like the questions, interview questions, and also the we'll find, because nowadays very difficult to get that question. They have changed the patterns, and then they have also make it very restrictive, where a person will be sitting next to you in the system, watching you, that you should not be copy pasting the in questions from anywhere to anywhere. So it's very difficult to get the questions, but we try. Someone remember the questions, they try to share with us, then we share those questions with you. But further, we don't do that. I mean, personally, I don't do that. But these things you can still get in touch with the Spock person. They can help you if they have certain context. We can provide to you.
Do you provide only online classes or is there any offline classes in the institute?
As of now, online classes are there. Offline classes not started yet. It's online. Offline are there, but for different languages, but not for the Appian. Any more questions?
How many demos you are sharing? Is this the only demo, or is tomorrow or another day that one more demo will be there?
I mean, depends. I think if certain people joins, we can go with the demo, but we can straight away start from the class one from the next day onwards.
Is there any videos is available in YouTube?
I'm sorry, Aditya, your voice is very low. Can you please?
Is there any videos are available in the YouTube?
Videos.
No.
So we will be sharing whatever we are going through, right? We will be recording the sessions and we'll be share the recordings with you guys where you can access it. And if you want to learn about the Appian, from the Appian site also, there are certain videos are available. You will be able to get that. So in Appian, if you community login, there is a site called Learn, and then if you click on that, it will redirect you for the Appian videos where you can watch the videos built by the Appian. Sorry. Any more questions?
Are you sharing the course content now with us, or are you gonna email us?
Yeah, we'll share with that. We'll share the course content with you guys.
Via email or on a WhatsApp?
You can get in touch with Shweta. I think they will share with you. If you have shared your email address, then they will. Otherwise, in WhatsApp, they will share with you.
Could you please share course content in WhatsApp group?
Yeah, sure. We'll do that. All right. Any other questions, guys? All right. Then I hope to see
One
all of
question
you.
here.
Yeah.
One question. So, what are the ticketing tools that kind of support, this Appian, like ServiceNow or Zen, or any other like a CSM ticketing tools would be associated with this?
See, there are certain, they have given inbuilt that you do not have to do much things here. But if there are certain third-party ticketing tools, if they will provide their services to you, like in terms of, you know, the soap call, we can still use that. It's not on any limitation that we cannot use any third party. If the third party is willing to give their service to us, we can still use that, right? We just need to use the integration object to connect with them and then bring the data and then write back the data, right? So if they are ready to provide, then we can use that. There's no restrictions. In connector system, we see that there are certain that is inbuilt already, but still if there are no like one you are mentioning is not there, we can still connect with them by using the integration call.
Because when you said the onboarding or offboarding of a user as an example, so every company have the set of own tools for tracking the incidents and the requests and other things. So how
Yeah.
is that this Appian going to help with those kind of the tools where everyone will be having a different ticketing tools here to monitor the tickets or to do make any changes?
See, mostly what happens, if a company is taking an Appian tool, they are using Appian tool, and so why they will bear the cost for having 5 or 6 different tools. slowly they start moving the application from one to other. In Appian, if you buy one environment, it's not like you will be able to create only one application. You can create n number of applications, right? So slowly they try to move first from and meanwhile what they use by using the service call, I mean API call or integration, right? Configuration, they use the data of it and then display in the Appian UI. So
Okay.
Appian UI helps them to run the backend process. You can create models in such a way and expose that model to the third party. They can execute it and then they can run the data in Appian as well. So it's possible. I'm just saying. Slowly they move from other tool to Appian.
When you say the deployment of the apps and other things, it includes both whatever the operating systems are available in the market, right? Be it Android or iOS or Windows.
Yes. Yeah. It is supported by all those other operating systems as well.
You said one more thing, like creating a websites is also a part of Appian here for intranet or for the other additional things.
Creating a sites, as I mentioned, that site is an one object in Appian, which will give you look and feel wise that you are using an web applications. But it still you will be using an Appian, you are inside the Appian site. So you will have the URL, you can access it from anywhere. So it's a browser, right? As I said, it's a on cloud, right? So you will be having a look and feel wise that you are using a web browser, maybe like HTTP application, but you are a part of Appian there itself, right? It's not a separate thing. As Java is object oriented, right? So wherever Java is available, you can also use this Appian nicely. There's no issue with that.
Let's say if
So
my company has an existing website, I would like to add more content on the website or make any necessary changes that can be integrated and done from this Appian tool, or we have to do the tools what the company is using earlier.
no, that depends, right? Where you have code is being designed. If that code is being designed in the Appian, you need to change into Appian, right? Whatever UI changes if you want to perform in Appian, right? You just need to save the changes in Appian, and it will be available for your site. And if you want to make that same changes to your higher environment, you need to deploy the changes to lower to higher environment, either in the patches or the applications.
APIs can provide all the APIs regarding this entire application Appian pieces, because suppose we are developing our own application. We have, suppose I want one process or one submission page or action pages can be integrated by application, maybe each piece of code. So is it possible that one?
Sorry, I didn't get you. You want to say that you want to create your own application in Appian or third party?
Appian, I can develop one process, okay?
Okay.
But the process, whatever the default application is running by Appian, right? That is whatever components, actions, and everything. User, I don't want to use login here. I can use still my application, which one is running. Example, there I can able to submit. There I can have link, either link or maybe the pages,
Yeah.
right?
See,
Should be
whenever
available on
you
the site.
design a site, right? Whenever you create a site will have a URL. Okay, so you can
Yes.
access with that URL.
Okay. So it can be integrated in other applications. Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, if you want to integrate in that URL to anywhere, you can do that, and then once user will click on that, you need to provide your credentials, and then you will be redirected directly to that site. You don't have to come to the Appian tempo page.
Okay. Some cases, suppose a task list is there, right? A task. If you want to know, that is by default one. It's not. Maybe I'm not. Maybe customer is not liking. They want customize it, their own task list, more such criteria, more fields, more anything. So for that one, any APIs are available to provide
No,
a
you have
task
to
list.
design. You have to design your code in a such a way that where you can have your own filters and all for your task.
It will be supported.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will be there. You don't have to go to there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
This
Any
class
other
current
questions,
recording
guys?
is shared
Yeah.
to us on WhatsApp.
I'm sorry, Amjad, can you please come again?
This current recording, which is getting recorded, will you sharing this in a recorded
Yeah,
session to us?
Yes, will do.
One more question. Just
Yeah,
you shown one. It will support any device, right? Part of either desktop, tab, or mobile app.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's required any specific development or only just one place common
Not
development, or
much,
it will be.
much. In the UI, it gives you also gives the features where you can see how it will look like on your other devices. So, it has given the links of in desktop, laptop, and then mobiles and tablets. You can switch the view and you can see that how it will look like, gonna look like. You don't have to do much.
Okay, it is part of normal development only. Just one
Correct. Yeah.
part of development, we can review the
Yes,
development
yes.
code.
So in
All
Appian,
this.
it's give you two things. In left hand side you can write the code, and right hand side you can see the image, how it's going to look like.
Okay, okay, great. So
Yeah.
accordingly, we need to design if we
Yeah.
require. Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Then mm, I hope to see you all next class onwards, and then we can connect. Yeah. If you have any questions, do let us know. Thank you.